Serenity Funeral Home. We are a family-owned and operated funeral home where we offer complete personalized funeral services, leading our community in funeral and cremation services. Make an appointment for your pre-need and at-need arrangements by calling us at 702-647-0123. Once again, that number is 702-647-0123. Serenity Funeral Home, caring for your loved ones as if they're our own.
Chico Sticks, Pickles, Jolly Ranchers, Mary Jane's, Pop Rocks, Lemon Heads. Should I go on? Bitter Honey, Freeze Cups, Candy Cigarettes. Listen, how about you make your way down to the modern-day Candy Lady and see all of this and more? Satisfy that sweet tooth Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Sight and Sound Candy and more. Follow us on IG at Sight and Sound Candy and on Facebook at Sight and Sound Candy. We are located at 1000 North Martin Luther King on the corner of Washington and MLK. Give us a call, 702-648-4444. Again, that number, 702-648-4444. Thank you.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Welcome to Let the Ball Bounce. This is your co-host. I'm not the host. Bill Blockham Logan. And I got my man over here, Sherm.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Goose will be with us in a minute.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Sherm?
Man, loving life, man. How you been?
I'm good, bro.
It's been a while since
Working
I've
hard,
been here.
Working hard, working all this OT.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, they giving it, I take it.
You take it,
You
right?
know,
Hey, look,
yes,
you want to
sir.
pay me extra on my check? I'll take it.
I'll take it.
All right.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but other than that, everything else is good. You know, we just want to talk some sports today.
Yeah, man. And it's a lot to talk about. Man, we got NBA news, obviously, playoffs in full effect. NFL draft right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
We, getting Major League Baseball jump started and everything else. I mean, we had a heavyweight fight this past weekend too.
Oh, yeah. Was it a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in the sports world.
A lot going on. A lot of opinions and untruths.
You know that's what makes the cycle go around, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we criticize people for their opinions, but you know what? The reality is we like them because that feeds the machine. It keeps it going.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So we I try to keep mine more to facts than opinions.
Yeah.
I give my own opinion, but I try to keep it closer to the facts.
Yeah. You know me, I'm the stats guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I let those do the speaking.
You're the analytic guy.
I'm the analytics guy, and it doesn't tell the whole story.
Mm-mm.
What it does is it creates a baseline to go. And it's like making a pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't make the pizza with the meat on the top. You got to start with the dough, right?
Yeah.
So for me, the stats is the dough. Then we can start adding all the other ingredients from there. You may not like some ingredients. Some people like fruit
I don't know.
on their pizza.
Quan is a pizza connoisseur, so I think he takes anything on it.
Yo, give me some pineapple. Give me some pineapple. Have you ever had it?
No, why?
You haven't even had it.
And
It's bomb.
I ain't never had horse either, but I don't want it. No, I've never had
good.
Boo boo.
Bill, have you had it?
Yeah, I've had it.
Do you like it?
I can eat it.
Really?
It's not my favorite, but I could eat it.
So good, man.
No.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. When I had it, it was good.
I don't think I'll be a fan of it. I don't know. I wouldn't be a fan of it. You like anchovies too?
No, I don't do that.
Okay. It's just me. I'm just checking your temperature.
I don't do that.
Yeah. So that's how I look at it. I'll start with the stats as a baseline. Then we can go from there. You know, you look at context too, because you can see somebody put up, you know, in let's say in the game of basketball, you can see somebody average 40, but where'd you average 40 against? Who was it against? Then that's when the context come in. And then, you know, the eye test is always important too.
Yeah.
You know? So
I kind of shade more to the eye test. You know, I that's what I shade more to than anything. Because like you said, numbers are numbers, but what's the baseline? What's the storyline? What's the eye test?
And the only reason why I stay away from the eye test first, we're all diehard fans of our respective teams, right? So when you're watching a Niners versus Cowboys game,
Who won the last time they played?
yeah, the Niners. But I'm gonna give you one because you're a Packer. I mean, you're a Cowboys fan.
I am not
fan.
a Packer fan
Right.
either.
So Des Bryant, was that a catch or not?
You played football.
start that?
I've played football.
Why would you
Goose has
start
played
that?
football. Quan has watched football.
I played Nerf. I played Nerf.
You played Nerf? Okay. So he's played Nerf. So he know. Dude, come on now. That was a catch.
My point.
Football players know that's a catch.
Until it popped out.
It's not what the ref said.
You're right. But football players know that was a catch.
See, in the eye test, you're going to always be biased toward the team that you're rooting for. You're going to look for a reason on why your team should have got the benefit of the doubt. So I think it's a critical part of the evaluation of if a team's better, if a player's better. But the eye test will have people like Skip Bayless saying that Manny Pacquiao beat Floyd. You see what I mean?
That's not even the eye test, though.
The eye test would have somebody like Skip Bayless say J.R. Smith should have been KCP should have been the MVP of that Lakers championship a couple years ago. Because eye test is biased toward the player you want or the player you would like not to succeed. That's why I use it. I look at eye test down the stream a little bit. But what you say, Bill? I mean, Goose. When it comes to how you look at how you evaluate things, what's your hierarchy?
I'm just a realist. What I see is what I'm going to project. Like if I see a player not playing well, that's just what it is.
So
he's not playing well.
The eye test then.
But my eye test clearly is totally different from somebody like a Skip Bayless because he said Manny Pacquiao beat Floyd.
Convincingly.
That's not the eye test, man. That's you being biased toward the dude you like versus the dude you don't. That's all that is. So when I see, like, in my opinion, from eye test, and it was probably due to, you know, some injury. He had some injury setback, but injuries are part of football. Injuries are part of sports. I think Mark Andrews passed George Kittle as one of the better tight ends in the league.
Oh,
that's what I've seen, though. Now, George Kittle is the best blocking tight end in the league. There's nobody better than him at the position at blocking.
This is true.
But Mark, you can make a case for Mark Andrews being a better pass catcher right now as we speak than George Kittle. George Kittle plays for my team, but I'm a realist, and I watched enough of Mark Andrews to say to come up with a logic thought to that. He was the only weapon they had. The defenses knew where Lamar Jackson was going, and they still couldn't stop him. Come on, man.
He's okay.
Dude is good, bro.
So based on that,
Yeah, he's good.
Is Mark
Good,
Andrews
bro.
better than Darren Waller?
At this moment, probably. Probably at this moment. Now, Darren Waller had a great season. What was that year? That was the COVID year when nobody was in the building, right? He had a great year that year. I think he caught 90 balls, something like that year. But that would be really, really close, bro. That would be terribly
So you
close.
got Travis Kelce still number one.
Travis Kelce, yes.
Okay.
He's the best pass catching tight end in the league.
Okay. I don't think we're too far off with all of us. I mean, I would say that's your collective.
Sure.
Top five.
Those guys right there. And you could put them in any space you want, but
as a football player,
that was it.
I want to know what y'all
Back to the ish.
Back to the catch.
Hey, he hasn't gotten over that
has not
all
gotten over
these
it.
years.
No, I'm over
bothersome.
it, but I want to hear from football players. Forget what the ref said.
We can't.
What you mean you can't?
He held on to it long enough for it to
Okay.
be a catch.
Because the ball never hit the ground.
As a lifelong receiver, I am going to defer to the receiver making the catch.
And
so
as a
I would
lifelong
say-
receiver,
Yep.
As a tight end, I have to say,
that is a catch.
Yeah.
Now, it was micromanaged to not a catch.
it was.
So we have to go with that, right?
As a lifelong Cowboy hater, it was not a catch.
See,
And I loved when I was watching that.
And
We
see,
all
when I
were.
talk about eye
was so
test
beautiful.
and bias, this is
This is it
exactly
right here.
this
No,
is it.
I would have been pissed if that was my team.
Right.
I would still be mad today
I would.
because that was a catch.
If it were your team.
If it was.
If it were a team.
But since it was the Cowboys, I mean, they cheat all the time anyways.
That's interesting.
We cheat all the time.
That's
bro.
interesting.
I mean, I wouldn't expect anything.
Anything less from old Quan.
Yeah.
Quan.
Yeah.
And pineapples do go on pizza. by the way.
What? Are you kidding me right
Yes,
now?
they do.
Hey,
Look,
Vinny, you
look, check
chiming
this
in
out.
on a live. It does not go on pizza. Am I right, Vinny?
If anybody is born and raised here in Las Vegas, Nevada, I want to say it was the very first Pizza Hut built here, right by the community college. I want to say that was the very
Right.
first Pizza Hut that was ever
on
built
Pecos
here,
and Las
on
Vegas
Pecos and Las
Boulevard.
Vegas Boulevard, right by the community college.
Yeah.
We would go there. My mom, my sisters and I. This is before my brother was even born.
They used to have the buffet.
The buffet.
Man, you know I grew up on Cheyenne and
Come
Pecos.
on,
So
family,
what?
the buffet. And really at times the only pizzas they would have out there, they would have the regular pepperoni and cheese, and they would have the pepperoni and pineapple.
So you like warm pineapple.
And I gravitated toward the pepperoni and pineapple.
So when's the last time you just took some pineapple at home, put it in a bowl, and threw it in the microwave and just ate it?
Probably never.
So why would you eat warm
Because
pineapple?
it's good
Hey,
on pizza,
when's the last
bro.
time you just grabbed pepperoni and started eating pepperoni by itself?
Never. You ain't never ate a summer sausage.
Or
by
sausage?
itself.
You just grab sausage and start eating it, sure?
It's supposed to be cooked.
Just
though.
grab it and start eating it?
This show almost went whole. all
Yes,
the
it
way
did.
around.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh man, that's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. Man. That's hilarious, bro. Look, man. Look, we are here live, man, at Gorilla Cross Studios, man. It's your boy Goose Thomas, man. Bill Blockham Logan in the building. Sherm the Worm has joined us, man. Look, if you want to be a sponsor of this great show, DM us or hit us at lettheballbounce@gmail.com. We would love to put your business out there.
Or hit us on the live feed.
Hit us on the live feed and just tell us you want to sponsor.
Yeah.
And we'll be more than happy to oblige. Shout out to Serenity Funeral Home. Black owned funeral home serving the Las Vegas community. Shout out to Sight and Sound Candy and More. 1000 North and Martin Luther King, man. Been doing big things over there at Sight and Sound Candy and More, man. So both of those businesses businesses appreciate your business.
Mm-hmm.
They do. So, look, man.
And let me say something that's
Yeah, go
not
ahead.
the business,
Go
though. Tamika Bolton,
Shout out to Tamika Bolton. Man.
Pastor Kelsey West,
Kelsey West, my guy.
and Paul Ruffin.
Yes, sir.
Y'all nasty.
Hey, man.
Y'all nasty.
Shout out my guy, man, Pastor Kelsey West.
Pineapples
man.
do not go on
That's
pizza.
my
That's
mans.
not the business.
That's my man's in them.
If y'all want something
Pineapples on
sweet,
pizza,
then
baby.
just eat your pizza, then go over to Sight and Sound Candy and have that as your
It's
dessert.
not the same, bro. No one will be putting turtles on their pizza. But I will put pineapples on that thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm with you, Bill.
Woo! Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my goodness. Do you see that?
He's pulled up all types
Do
of
you
pizzas.
see the beauty that is pineapple and pepperoni pizza, man?
Y'all put watermelon on your pizza too? What about some
no.
grapes?
No, man.
Little sprinkles of raisins,
Say, man.
orange
Not
slices.
all fruits are created equal, bro. Don't do that, man. All fruit is
just-
not
just put
created equal.
Pour the can of fruit cocktail on top of it. Just have a medley going on.
All fruit is not created equal. Pineapple is different.
Sherm, would you try it?
No,
Tamika Bolton asked, try it. Would you try it?
Can't knock something till you try.
Would you try it?
Next time he's on the show in October, we'll bring some.
In
That's a good
October.
one. That's a good one, man.
That
That's
was
a
good.
one.
That was
That's
a
a
good
good
one.
one right there, man. Look, man, we know what the
Would you
elephant
try
in the
it?
room is.
I'll take a bite.
Try it, man. Come on, man.
I reserve the right to
Yes.
spit it out.
Yes.
Take a bite, man.
Yeah.
Take a bite.
So
Look,
you like
man.
me with the I don't want no sauce on my fingers.
Yeah, that's Bill. We've learned to accept that after
I'd
we
rather
clowned him.
I'd rather dip it in the sauce.
After we clowned him for 3 straight shows.
Yeah, that's
We've learned to accept Bill not wanting sauce directly on his fingers.
why. What's the texture?
No,
He don't want it in between his fingers.
I don't
man.
like.
Yeah, you know.
I don't like my fingers getting all messy like that.
So how? No.
This is not, bro. Bro, I know
We're not on
exactly what
speak-
he's trying to
we're not on
he's trying-
speak
he's
live.
trying to figure out why,
How do you?
Come
Put a
on.
glove on?
You wouldn't put a glove on.
Not the OJ joint. You not.
You wouldn't put the glove on.
I don't. No.
Oh boy.
Sometimes you gotta sop it
that's
up.
horrible. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
if they're plain,
Interesting.
your hand's not going to get that messy. But if they're coated in, no, I don't like licking the fingers. That's I can't stand when people do it around me too. I'll be like this here.
Quad, you stupid.
Funny guy over here.
Oh, man.
Funny guy over here, man. Look, man, let's talk about some NBA basketball, man, because we know what the elephant in the room is. The Brooklyn Nets swept completely out of the playoffs.
At least they want to play in game.
Why? Why did the Brooklyn Nets in your opinion, why did the Brooklyn Nets get swept completely out of the playoffs, bro?
Because Boston was a better team.
I go with that. Sherwan.
Okay, I mean, yes, Boston was a better team, right? I don't know if they were a better team on paper. They weren't were not the betting favorite, but they were the better orchestrated team. I mean, look, the truth of the matter is the reason why Brooklyn lost is because Kyrie wasn't the executive. And so if he was the GM and if he was the coach, they would have won.
Because he did allude to some of that in the post-game interview without directly alluding to it, didn't he?
Yeah. I like Kyrie.
That's tough.
I take my jabs.
I like Kyrie, man.
His game is
He's
phenomenal.
a phenomenal basketball player.
my gripe with him and even this Brooklyn Nets team is it seemed like there was no accountability, even all season.
Sure.
And that even goes back to even James Harden being on the team, right? It just didn't seem like there was accountability. They felt they can roll the ball out there and beat anybody because of their individual prowess as players. And so it was, yeah, this guy is a sniper and I'm the most skilled player ever, or however you want to put them 1 and 2, but they thought that was it.
Yeah.
And to me, it was doomed from the beginning when they said, well, we don't really need Steve Nash to coach. I mean, he's just going to kind of help us. Coaching matters in the NBA. I don't know, and you have more experience with this when it comes to baseball, but to me, basketball coaching is phenomenal. You have to be able to. There's very rare. You can go back and take like the Michael Jordans of the world. Jordan was a great talent, right? But Jordan was a guy who couldn't get out the first round. He was. Look, I'm gonna get crucified for saying this by our followers, but Jordan was no different than James Harden or Westbrook until Phil Jackson came in. Not to say he wasn't better than them, but he was a guy who got bounced in the first round. He was a high-scoring player who couldn't get out the first round. And at that time, I don't even know if he was better than Dominique Wilkins at that point because Wilkins was advancing.
Sure.
Right? Phil Jackson
and dropping 30 a night.
Exactly. But Phil Jackson came in and was able to change that dynamic.
I don't mean to cut you off, but you got to look when you look at the Last Dance, and you look what Jordan did to help them sorry Chicago Bulls teams get into the playoffs when they were dang near tanking, and he was like, "Look, I'm not tanking.
Yeah, I'm trying to win.
That's on him to get them teams into the playoffs. They didn't advance far because the team wasn't really that good. Right. But Jordan's presence and his play got those teams to the playoffs.
And I'm not disparaging Jordan with this statement. I'm saying what I'm saying is, as great as he was, he can only elevate so far until coaching took it to the next level. That's what I'm trying to say. So KD and Kyrie are phenomenal talents, some of the best that the NBA's ever seen, but they can only go so far without proper coaching. And you see it. You look at your Lakers team. You got talent on the squad. To me, I never thought that your coach was a good coach, and it can only go so far. And to me, that's what happened with.
That was more than a coaching problem.
But there's talent.
We're not talking about the Lakers right now.
Right.
We're talking about people that are
I
actually still playing.
I just think when you look at the 4 games overall, the Celtics was just better, man.
No, they were better.
But why?
Basketball team.
Because Udoka really honed in on them guys after January, like Jason Tatum said. After January, he honed in on us to be accountable and be better on the defensive
end. They were 30 and 10 in their last 40, bro.
Yeah.
And to be better on the defensive end. And you saw that in the second half of the season. Yeah. So
in those 4 games combined, though, it was only 18 points.
Separation.
And one was a game winner by Tatum. Game 1 was a game winner.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a close series for being a sweep.
It was.
But
close games, not close series, close games.
Right, because looking at the games themselves, like Boston seemed to dominate the Nets. Even though, like you said, the average margin was 4.5 points a game in those 4 games. 4.5 points. So if you look at the score and didn't look at the games, you would think, man, I mean, a couple of drop buckets, man. The Nets might be a series a different way.
It was, but those Boston reserves and Jason Tatum, they were hitting timely shots.
Absolutely.
But they're way
time
better.
And time again.
That's the thing. Boston's team overall is way better. You have 2 superstars, and then instead of trading, you traded for Harden and you gave up pieces that you needed for Harden. Harden didn't work out. You trade him for another guy that doesn't want to play. Instead of trading Harden again for pieces, you didn't do anything to fill up your bench. You got Claxton who can't make a free throw, and you got Blake Griffin who's dead, playing his heart out, and that's your best player coming off the bench. That's never going to work.
No, at all.
And LaMarcus Aldridge, if he could have gave them anything,
he didn't even play.
Yes,
Steve Nash wouldn't even call his number, bro.
If he could have given them anything,
but
I think that would help him. But he had this lingering hip injury that kept him out the whole series.
And I think too. Now, Steve Nash deserves a little bit of. It's enough blame to go around. Let me start right there. It's enough blame to go around from Steve Nash to KD to Kyrie to Claxton not making free throws. There's plenty of blame to go around. But let's start with Steve Nash. Let's start. What was it? Game 2 when the Nets were up 17 and allowed. That was the Jason Tatum game winner, correct? No in-game adjustments whatsoever. I'm talking offensive sets. It was give the ball to this dude and get out the way. That was the offense. That's what I was watching.
But sometimes, and you see this. You'll see this when it comes to superstar players. Sometimes those superstar players want someone who's just gonna allow them to just go play, and it looks like that's the style of play they wanted. They wanted the ISO ball, and the ISO ball didn't work.
No,
and it doesn't work if you're not hitting shots. It's not working if you can't beat your man consistently.
Sure.
And with Boston's length on the wings, Jaylen Brown has always been a great defender. Marcus Smart's always been a great defender. Jason Tatum, not so much, but defense.
He's become one, though.
Right, because defense is an attitude. It's a mental makeup that you have. And when everybody else is diving on the floor and getting in their opponent's pocket, he's going to fall in line and do the same thing too.
Sure.
And so now their whole front line is just dogs on the defense.
Sure. And I know it's cliche, but and we've all heard it. Anybody can score, bro.
Yeah.
Anybody can score the basketball, bro. I can get a oops foul and get a couple of free throws, but everybody can't play defense, bro. Everybody can't get down and slide their feet, bro. That is, like you said, Sherm, a mentality that you have to have to be able to get down and slide your feet, bro. And Marcus Smart, to see his maturation from the time do y'all remember him at Oklahoma State? How much of a hothead he was, bro, at OK State? Yeah. I'm talking going at fans in the stands, bro. Dude was a hothead.
He was
a complete hothead, bro. And to see his maturation through his 7 years in the league, 8 years in the league now. Come on, bro. Like you root for dudes like that that completely change their attitude to a winning attitude versus a me attitude and propel their teams psychologically, because I think that's what Marcus Smart has been for the Boston Celtics. Yeah. He's been a propeller psychologically for them. We've never talked about Jason Tatum playing defense ever. When he came out of Duke, that was the only dude that's ever come out of Duke that I was like, this dude gonna be all right. But never once did we rave about him defensively. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah.
Jason Tatum getting down and sliding his feet defensively.
That also shows defense is contagious. So when you have a team like that and you start playing hard like that, and everyone gets on the same page, you see what a team could do. And they've proven that the second half of the season into the playoffs.
No doubt about it.
And you can see it too. I'm going back to the coaching part because you can tell when players are playing for one another and when they're playing for their coach. And then you can also see when players tune out a coach. Because you don't see it. You see the talking within it, the pointing to one another as far as, hey, move, here, screen coming. You see that with Boston. Yeah. Now,
I'm gonna tell you, you saw that with the Lakers. Whatever Frank Vogel was telling them in the huddles and this and that, they was not trying to do it.
Hone in on that.
They was not trying to do it.
And honestly, I don't think why? I don't think they ever bought into Frank Vogel. And I was here at this desk and saying, I don't think that that's a good hire. In fact, I think that because I think the way you guys structured that team, remember Jason Kidd was coming off of that domestic violence battery scandal. Sure. And so nobody wanted to really put him as the face of the franchise. Yeah. So you parked him on the bench, and everyone you interview, from Monty Williams to Ty Lue, you said, well, he's got to be your guy. And he's probably next in line. So you kind of set that poison pill for everyone else. But I think the players listened to Jay Kidd, not necessarily Frank Vogel. They felt he was kind of a scapegoat anyway. That's how you brought him in, as just a lame duck coach.
Sure.
So when Jason Kidd leaves, you still got this lame duck here on the bench.
Sure.
I've tuned you out. I never listened to you anyway.
Yeah.
But why? Why is it like that? That's my thing. Why are you not listening to your coach, bro? Because what type of persona has Frank Vogel shown you guys that you're not to listen to him? Because he seems like, a mild-mannered coach that wants to coach his team, wants them to play defense, which are like we just talking about. A lot of teams don't want to buy into the defensive side of the ball. They want to play offense more than anything.
Right.
It's hard to tell. None of us are in the locker room or in those practices, right?
Don't know. We like to assume, but we like in real life.
Correct. Right. But these players have played against them as well. Maybe they looked at it and was like, yeah, his offensive or defensive sets aren't great. Right. Maybe there's talk within the league. You don't know. Maybe it's within the game itself. They're like, yeah, this dude just don't know what he's talking about. I know more. That happens sometimes. Right or wrong, it happens. Yeah. You go back to other Lakers teams, you guys tuned out Rudy Tomjanovich. Yeah. Right? Lakers players tuned them out.
Yep.
Then you bring in a Phil Jackson, then everything snaps into place.
Shaq was the leader of that. He was the leader of tuning out Rudy T. In my opinion.
It happens.
In my opinion, that's y'all know that's my favorite player of all
but
time.
That's just a wrong way to be as a veteran professional player to tune out your coach.
No question.
Because it's detrimental to the team.
I think they gravitate toward
that's
Phil
why
Handy
the Lakers
more.
finished where they finished.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you tuned your coach out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You didn't buy into anything that he said. Yeah. He wanted you guys to do. I ain't gonna say said. Anything he wanted you guys to do, you tuned it out.
Yeah. They gravitate toward Phil Handy more, I think. But Phil not the HC. So ultimately the last word is gonna rest with Frank Vogel, and they knew that, and it was just all bad. It was a disaster. You had Russ, who he ain't gonna listen to nobody no way, unless it's Scott Brooks. He's not gonna listen to anybody anyway. He's gonna do his thing.
Then putting false narratives out there talking about he didn't allow me to be me. Dude, you played more minutes in more games than anybody. What are you talking about?
What are you saying?
The ball is in your hands.
A majority of the time.
Have y'all been watching the docuseries, The Winning Time?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Watching
great TV.
Yeah, watching that so far sitting through it, and it is good. It is good TV. Because you get a behind the curtains look at the Lakers. It almost feels real. And Jerry Buss is wild.
Jerry Buss is
was a wild boy. But Paul Westhead, were they ever listening to him? It was Jack McKinnon and Pat Riley,
very
right?
rocky.
Yeah.
Paul Westhead, no question.
Right. And so sometimes they're just not good speech makers, all those type of things. So it happens that way. These are professional athletes who make more than their coaches. And sometimes that's why people like Phil Jackson and why is his name escaping me right now? For the Spurs, Popovich. That's why they're so great, because they can control those egos and put them in line, and not afraid to bench him if he have to.
And that's what happened with the Celtics coach before.
Yes,
they tuned him out. Then next thing you know, Danny Ainge is gone. He moves upstairs where Danny Ainge's old job, and then they hire Udoka.
Because there's not a difference with the team, but Brad Stevens off the bench now.
Right.
Yeah. Same guys.
Yes.
Brad Stevens is up top, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you hear this all the time. Maybe they need another voice in the room.
Right.
Right. I mean, I get that too. You need another voice in the room to get these dudes to want to play and play and buy in, really.
Sure.
So maybe that was a something that really they needed, because everybody said Brad Stevens was like this great young coach.
Well, they balled out for him, shorthanded.
They did.
So I'm looking at that as not only them playing for themselves as a collective unit, but also balling out for him.
Especially Jason Tatum's rookie year. Mm-hmm. They balled out for him.
Balled out.
Yeah.
Yes, no doubt.
Then it kind of fell off a little bit.
They were young, so they ain't know no better.
Yeah.
That's the difference too. When you're young, you just out here trying to play.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But when you're a vet, it's like,
Things a little different.
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys think that the Nets, their Kevin Durant, Kyrie's era is a failure right now? I don't.
This team is constructed. Absolutely.
It's tough, bro.
I don't.
It's tough. It's tough to say because you didn't have Kyrie for a complete season.
I mean, go back to what, 4 years ago? Because they've been there for 4 years. Okay,
Sure.
go back to 4 years ago. The first year, KD didn't play because he was injured. You know, Kyrie was there by himself. You know, last year, Kyrie gets hurt in the playoffs. We think that they could have beat.
I didn't think that. It was never a question to me.
One inch behind that line, man.
One inch
sit
what?
packing.
Well,
sit packing.
Then
I'm
step
saying
yourself back then.
Also, I'm saying too though that Kyrie hurt his ankle, and he didn't play any more rest of the series.
He sure did.
He
sure did. He sure did.
Looking at me like,
sure did. Look,
come on, man.
sure.
But you guys got it done. I can't trip. But
the ultimate champs. Yeah.
I mean, because Kyrie wasn't stopping Giannis.
Well,
yeah, I don't think nobody else was stopping.
No,
nobody was stopping.
So
Giannis.
the reason why I call it a failure is only for this reason. There's a certain expectation level, right? And then you got to look at the situations that they were in before. So KD leaves Golden State, right? You have a dynasty right there, and you never know where they would be right now if he stayed.
No.
Kyrie leaves Boston, and look at where they are right now. So you look at what was left behind, what those teams are doing without them, and them collectively together. How far have they gone?
But they haven't had a full season together.
But you can't. I get that, and injuries are part of the game, and they're unfortunate parts of the game, right? But you can't say that it's 4 seasons in. Within 4 seasons, you expected them to be competing for titles, and they're not competing really at all. Last season was their best run, and they've already had to move parts out. They're now being swept in the first round. They're barely making play-in games. You can't call it a success because
that's just 1 season though.
But it's been 4 seasons.
No, it's not been 4 seasons with them together collectively.
But I'm saying this what we see of this Brooklyn Nets has been together for 4 seasons. Now there's been injuries and holdouts and COVID mandates and stuff like that, right? We get that. However, it's been together 4 seasons. No one else gets that type of your Lakers. And I know the Lakers, what do you guys got? 16 championships?
17. Do not short us like that. Don't ever do that again in your life.
Well, your boy Mark RoboShark says
don't ever do that
16.
again in your life, Sean.
Some Lakers fans only count 16. But
okay.
Yeah, some of them don't like the LeBron ring.
Yeah, whatever.
But what I'm saying
we don't
is
like them.
A lot of Lakers fans still feel that
fake fans.
Yeah.
Fake fans.
But a lot of Lakers fans still feel that this has been not successful this 4-year run, but yet there's a championship that's been had in this 4-year run.
We know why they don't view it that way, right? We
I know.
really know why they don't.
Many are afraid to or reluctant to admit it, but yeah.
Tell the truth and shame the devil, man. That's what Mama used to tell me, man. Tell the truth and shame the devil, man. It's okay. It's cool, bro. Like you don't like number 23. That's fine. But be that way. Like say you don't like 23, keep it moving. Don't make don't run down a laundry list worth of excuses as to why other than the reason you know it is. Say you don't like 2-3, keep it moving, man. Like, it's cool. It's okay, man. Like, come on, man. Like, let's move on, bro.
So that's my only reason. Like, if you take 4 years ago, there was a major shakeup in the NBA, right? You had Kawhi and Paul George going to the Clippers, KD and Kyrie going over to the Nets, LeBron and then AD going over to the Lakers.
Yep.
Those three franchises set themselves up in positions to contend.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Would you consider the Clippers run so far in 4 years successful or not?
No.
They've been a failure forever.
They've been a failure since they were the Buffalo Braves. We're not here for.
You forget it. They go way back that far.
Yes.
You forget that.
Yeah.
But so to me, they're not. It wasn't the Nets run has not been successful.
Right. It's look, man. With everything that's going on there, with Kyrie Irving, like this was this vaccination thing, bro. At the end of the day, it's his choice. However you feel about him getting vaccinated or not getting vaccinated, it was his choice. Now, his choice ultimately, I believe, cost his team some ball games because he wasn't there. If Kyrie plays, now, we know we don't get full seasons out of Kyrie. We just don't.
Ever.
We don't get full seasons out of him. So let's just say he plays half of the 40 games that he missed. Let's just say that. Do we think that the Nets are the 8th seed, though? Do we think they in the play-in tournament if he just plays half of those games? He could help his ball club win, and then at the same time, there's more continuity between. Looking at that series, bro, it looked as though they had never even played together.
But the Nets made the decision to not let him play road games at the beginning of the season. So that's the team's fault for keeping him off of those for the first half of the season.
No question. So, I mean, this is not a blame game thing. I'm just saying he didn't play.
But that's the narrative that the
Draymond
pundits and everybody is saying, that he let his team down by not taking that vaccine.
Right.
Hold on real quick. Hold that point real quick, Bill.
Yeah.
You said Dre's on the line right now?
Dre.
Caller.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I've been here for about 10 minutes.
I mean, we heard you breathing over there, sounding like Rasputia.
I'm just listening to the Three Stooges talk, y'all.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's good with you, Brody?
Good, man. My daughter's team sucked bad.
That sucks, man.
School team.
It's okay, man.
They're trash.
So
you're saying you're the Steve Nash of the volleyball world?
Jeez, he's not the coach of that one.
I'm not the coach of my kid's school team, but for my volleyball team, I'm the Popovich of that squad.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Old faithful, old trustworthy.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get in on this Nets Boston series, man, because me and Bill Logan talk about the series throughout the entire series, and I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. And so since I'm not there in studio, I'm definitely not going to keep it politically correct, and I'm going to answer the question, man. It definitely was a disappointment. KD did not play basketball the way that we're accustomed to seeing KD play those first 3 games. I'm just going to keep it 1,000.
Yeah.
Kyrie played better when he played at Boston because that was more of a home game in Boston than the Nets was because he was unable to play Nets game because of the vaccine.
True.
And we need to stop giving Kyrie the excuse of him not playing because of the vaccine when every year he misses half the season due to injury. So him missing games because of the vaccine has nothing to do with it.
No.
He was healthier and he was in better shape this year than he has ever been in his entire basketball career.
Yeah, he should have played better.
With that being said, I am not giving the Nets no passes.
No.
They did not get it done. Steve Nash didn't get it done. The assistant coaches didn't get it done. The organization didn't get it done. KD didn't get it done. Kyrie did not get it done. Plain and simple.
Nope.
Not enough is being talked about how great Boston played. They played excellent, great team defense. They played great help side defense. They were excellent defensive and offensive rebounding team. Collectively, as a team, the Boston Celtics, you could match them up with anybody the way that they're playing right now, and they'll give them a run for their money.
And half those games
without take away
Robert Williams too.
Yes. So let's not take away from what Boston was doing, man. Boston showed up and they showed out defensively. Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year, catapulted that team to buy in on the defensive end, and that's including Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And collectively, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were the best duo out of the two. If you were speaking of Kyrie and KD, those two definitely took their team, put them on their backs, and that's it. That's it, man. They just were a better team.
Not even close. You are absolutely correct. It's not even a debate between the two duos who was better. Those two, and I'm speaking Jaylen and Jason Tatum. I heard you mentioned earlier, Sherm, about defense being contagious, right? So Marcus Smart and his prowess on the defensive end propelled them defensively, right? I think shot making. Now you have dudes that can shoot, and you got dudes that are shot makers, right? Jason Tatum propelled everybody else to be shot makers in that series, bro. Anybody that was open, that could shoot the basketball, they made shots, bro. And I don't know who mentioned it. You were saying timely shots. No, you said it, Bill. Yeah. They made timely buckets, like deflating buckets, like run deflating buckets that propelled them over the top. They played as perfect a series defensively as I've ever seen a collective team play defense. Never seen. I don't think I've really seen that before. I mean, you could probably mention the Miami teams that make the runs with LeBron and D Wade, but I don't even think they play defense that damn good. I really don't.
Well, I mean, you could say the Pistons too.
Pistons. There you go. The 04 Pistons. Right? Yes, Pistons, absolutely.
The 08 Celtics.
Yeah.
But again, we're picking out a couple of teams here and there.
Right. It's not many.
All over through the NBA.
Not many, bro. Not many.
But that's why when you asked that, I said, hey, Boston, I've been putting that on the page all week.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all concentrating on KD and Kyrie, what they not doing.
Boston
is
killed
there's a
them
reason
people.
Boston is the better team.
Boston killed them people, bro. They absolutely annihilated
Boston
them.
is the better team.
No doubt.
It was the better team.
Yeah.
You know, it's over now, but
no question
they were the better team in that series.
No question about it.
Period. You know, they had KD looking bewildered.
Yeah. He was befuddled.
Yeah. I mean, like everybody said, dude, I've never seen this type of KD before.
Right.
This dude is walking around like a zombie.
Right.
I don't know what to do.
Right,
you know,
right.
I can't get to my spots.
Right.
You know, there's a reason.
It's frustrating when you can't get to your spots.
But there's a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Boston.
Yeah, they knew.
All those defenders, they looked at film, they looked at your tendencies, they looked at all of that and said, okay,
gotta give them credit.
We apply that in the game, we got it.
Gotta give them credit.
And that's what happened.
You have to, man.
You know.
Yes, indeed, man.
But to me, like I said, you listen to these, you know, these 4-letter network people and all these basketball pundits, dude. Kyrie made his decision. Respect it.
Yeah.
Did it hurt his team? Yeah, probably so, because he wasn't there the whole season.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that was his decision. There's a lot of people didn't take the vaccine.
Right.
He wasn't the only one.
Yeah. It just has affected him more being in the state of New York and them having their rules like they had them. I think that's what ultimately was.
Dude, I can't make you or you do what you don't want to do.
True story.
But I from what I hear, it's not that it's not them attacking him for his personal choice. It's them attacking him because it affected the play on the court, and they're talking about it from a on the court standpoint. That look, you weren't available, so there was a lack of chemistry there that you guys weren't able to put together.
But like Quan said, there was a reason why he wasn't available, and they are the ones that said you can't play. Mm-hmm. He was ready to play.
Yeah. So do you put any credibility to what Dre said, where look, he misses a lot of games anyway. This allowed him to be fresh for the playoffs.
I don't go back to in the past. This is this season. He was healthy. Mm. What the injuries he had in the past were legit injuries. They weren't just like he's like Ben Simmons injury.
That guy.
You know.
Hey man, that's
if you want to talk about anybody being a disappointment,
yeah,
it's
him. There weren't Ben Simmons injuries. These injuries were legit.
Yeah, it's him. He's the disappointment.
You know, and like we all say, injuries are part of the game. And when you get out there and you're running and jumping and all that stuff, you're bound, or you're putting yourself out there to pull a muscle, tear something, turn an ankle, tear an Achilles, tear your knee up. So,
Dre, you still there? Did you hang up?
Yeah, I put it on mute.
Oh, okay.
Nope, I'm here.
Okay, we looking at this. Let's switch to the Miami Atlanta series, and Miami just now closes the Atlanta Hawks out without Kyle Lowry, without Jimmy Butler. They close out the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I said before the playoffs started, and probably at the tail end of the season, that I thought, in my opinion, that Miami was the best collective defensive team in the National Basketball Association. Now, Boston has since closed that gap, but I still think, to a certain degree, it's the Miami Heat going forward. What do you think about the Miami Heat going forward? And it looks like they'll face Milwaukee. Will they play Milwaukee?
Boston?
Or they on the other side of the bracket?
It's Boston and Milwaukee.
Boston and Milwaukee. So it'll be Miami and
the winner of the Toronto Philly.
So let's just say it's Philly, because right. And I was gonna say that, Quan. So hold on. Philly don't look like they want to close this series out right now, bro. They don't look like they trying to close this series out. Is this the Doc Rivers effect coming back? Is this what we've been seeing for like the longest time? The Doc Rivers effect?
Yes.
Coming back to
well, let's go ahead and do this. I mean, at the end of the day, Doc Rivers is the head coach of that Philadelphia 76ers team. But ultimately, the players have to go out and try to execute, right? And so right now you're dealing with Embiid, dealing with a thumb that needs surgery on, right? And you're having your boy, James Harden, show up to the playoffs like he has done ever since he went to the playoffs. Wow. And so with that being said, they were getting James Harden in a trade thinking that they were going to get a aggressive, hungry, new scenery, shot-making James Harden, but he's actually showing up to the games like the old James Harden. And so I don't think with just those two, with Embiid's injury, James Harden not playing the way that he is capable of playing, I don't see them beating a Miami Heat team in a 7-game series.
Nope, I don't.
What's happened to James Harden?
Everything was good just a week ago.
I mean, Embiid said they were the best duo in the league and best player he's ever played with.
Dre, it was all good just a week ago, Dre. Like, literally, though. It was all good just a week ago. Now, all of a sudden... Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it was all good just a week ago. Yeah. But I think James Harden needs to show more consistency. I think that is what has been missing from his game in the playoffs. Is he'll give you a game of 27 or 28 points, 29 points, but he's not consistent. You can't chalk those 28, 29 points up every single game.
Sure.
you don't know what you're going to get from him.
Man.
So I heard a little quote on the James Harden thing, and it said when with Embiid making that statement about him
being aggressive,
we need him to be more aggressive.
Yeah.
So he said, he said, does he want the old James Harden or does he want the old James Harden? Because we might be looking at the past tense old James Harden who can't do what he did in Houston.
Right.
Anymore.
But the thing about it is, it wasn't like he played above the rim.
Sure.
He didn't even play with a lot of speed.
He was way more aggressive, though.
Right. But why? I mean, he got a change out of scenery from Houston to Brooklyn, and that wore out in the season and a half. And now he's been in Philly for half a season, and it seemed like it's wore out already.
That's crazy to me, bro. Like the first 2 games. I mean, if you watch those games and look at his stat line, they match up. Like he was aggressive. He was what he have in the first game, 16 assists, and like finding people. This when Maxey went off.
Yeah,
those back-to-back games, right? I mean, finding dudes like he was being aggressive, but the rest of the team was involved along with his aggressiveness. When he goes 4 for 11 the other night, and they score 88 points, and now all of a sudden, Joel Embiid, who's, I mean, if you want to call him the MVP now, we can give him the title, tells you you're not being aggressive.
And he needs him to be more aggressive because of this.
Yeah.
Because if you guys are just feeding me to do more scoring, eventually this is going to get hurt even worse, where I'm not going to even be able to play in the playoffs.
Sure. And if he's aggressive, he's going to command a double team, which frees somebody up.
Yeah. Let's talk basketball.
That thumb
you know what I'm saying?
Isn't going to matter, to your point.
Yeah.
That thumb's not going to matter. He's still going to get double teamed, bro, because he's dangerous.
Yeah.
So forget that thumb, bro.
But I'm saying
he's dangerous, bro.
You can only double team. You can't double more than one player. So if Harden is going off and cooking, now you got to bring somebody else to help over there. Right. And then now as you start passing the ball and getting it around the perimeter, somebody's eventually coming off of Embiid.
Sure.
Because if you swing it, because Harden likes to operate from the elbows. So if he's commanding that double team and then he fires over to the corner, now that man who's on Embiid now has to shoot out to the corner. That shot goes up, Embiid's not being boxed out. He can offensive rebound, or he can throw it down low in the post to somebody. Now the backside's coming over, which is probably a wing or one guard coming over, point guard. Matchup problem. That's how I think of it that way, but that's how Capella used to eat in Houston when Harden was cooking, right? And Capella is not the player Embiid is.
Close. Not even close. So I think it was a lot of pick and roll action with them too as well, and Capella being the rim runner. Like Joel Embiid is not a rim runner.
No,
he's not a rim runner.
No, he's not.
So, like you got them scoring off of that action and opening up the floor more. And Embiid is kind of like I ain't gonna call him a black hole, but he's a back to the basket dude that can score like that, like a traditional center would score. So, I wouldn't go so far as to call him a black hole because he's a good team player. He passes the ball, so I'm not gonna call him a black hole. But he can play with his back to the basket.
And then Vince Gelato made a really good point
Vince,
too,
man.
Because the one piece that I thought where I thought Brooklyn won that trade was the Seth Curry factor.
Sure.
And he said that Philly's missing Seth Curry.
Bad.
Because you got that automatic knockdown shooter who's going to be left open, is going to hit that shot, and Danny Green ain't that dude.
Sure.
And so they're missing that.
Well, Seth Curry also was able to put the ball on the deck and make plays, and we know Danny Green can't do that. So they're missing that heels. You can't give Danny Green Seth Curry's role. It's just not going to work. Seth Curry can really put the ball on the deck and get to the bucket if he wants. Danny Green's not that dude.
Yeah.
He's not that guy, man.
Well, the youngster, I think they need to get the youngster more involved like he was in game 1.
Yeah.
Start getting him more involved because I'm telling you, that thumb injury, that's the reason why he put it in the air.
Sure.
He needs to be more aggressive.
He got to be more aggressive because this thumb hurt, G.
Yeah, it hurt, and I want to be here for the whole playoffs.
Right.
Because if this thing gets hit in the wrong area, I'm done.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
Because I'm getting fed the ball. I'm doing, I got to – it's almost like now he has to kind of pace himself through these games.
Sure.
Sure.
So, Dre, what you thinking, man, as far as Philly is concerned? I mean, they still up 3-2, bro, with a chance to close this thing out, man. What do you think Philly has to do with everything that we just mentioned? What does Philly have to do to really close this thing out for real, man?
Play better.
That's simple.
Get coach better. That's it. And play better down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I mean, Doc Rivers, had a really good game plan. I think it was in the game 2 or game 3, and it was. I think they were already in OT, and they gave the ball to
game 3
Embiid for the turnaround 3 for the 3.
Yep.
Game
3. Yep.
Obviously he's the best. Obviously right now, percentage-wise, he's the best shooter on that team. And so he drew up a really nice play. So a lot of people wasn't given, they were so quick to criticize Doc Rivers' coaching, but they didn't, want to give him his props on, actually drawing up a really good play for the best player on their team. And it worked out for him in game 3. But I just think collectively they need to play better. Their bench needs to play better. James Harden needs to play better. And Joel Embiid just needs to show up and be Joel Embiid.
Yeah. They're not getting the Houston James Harden. They might as well hang that up. Now you're going to get he's going to be aggressive finding his guys, getting those assists. Right. But as far as him getting mid-30s to 40s, so you mean that's done? That's done.
Well, we're not asking James Harden to give us 30s.
No, but that's what Embiid is asking.
Yeah, Embiid is
not us. Yeah, Embiid is asking that.
Embiid needs to grow his ass up because at the end of the day, this is your team. This is your team, Embiid.
Yeah,
stop asking somebody else to play better. Stop asking somebody else to step up and play better than you.
Yeah.
You do it.
Yeah.
But I think in the context of what he was asking is, hey, look, man, I'm being double teamed. I need you to just be better because there's only so much you can do, right? From one player to another. We've seen a lot of great players that didn't have the complementary parts. Last season with Golden State, with Steph Curry. Steph averaged like 30 points last season, but there was nobody else to step up. So if you're asking a player, hey, I just need you to be a little more aggressive to take some pressure off of me. I think that's what I heard when I heard Embiid say that. And it's not like we're asking, a player who's averaging 12 points a game to average 24.
Right.
He's asking a player who's averaged 25 points for their career who's now only averaging 17.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, true story.
So you're basically asking James Harden to score 6 more points. Come on, man. Collectively, you can't point the finger at one person. We all have to play better, and that means Embiid also. Embiid, take a page out of the great books. When you averaged a certain average in the regular season, when the playoffs came, you exceeded that average every single game. Take a page from that, bruh. Yeah. I'm not Joel Embiid. If you average, let's just hypothetically say, how much did Joel Embiid average this year? What,
27?
No, he hit 30.
30. Oh, he was at 30.
LeBron and Jokic all hit 30. And Giannis,
30.
all of them.
All of them were average 30.
30.
Okay, so how much is he averaging in this series?
That's a good question, bro. Because if it's less,
that's what I'm talking about.
Because if it's
less than what you, it's less than what you doing in the regular season, why can't you do exactly what you've been doing in the regular season?
Sure.
I understand that the game slows up. There are different things that are run in the postseason. It turns more into a half-court game, depending on your strategy or whoever coach you have. But at the same time, give me what you average during the regular season. Yeah. That's all I ask for.
These dudes still putting up 80 shots apiece though. In these playoffs, all these teams still putting up 80 shots. Like that's not slow. That's not a slow pace.
Embiid's averaging 24.8 and 11.6.
Come on,
rebound.
Come on, G.
He's 6 off his.
Come on, G.
So he's 6. So you're asking James Harden to score 6 more points, but you're not scoring the 6 points that you need in order to help your team.
Well, and at the same time, Harden's only averaging 18. Yeah. But he's averaging 9 assists, so he's doing what he should be doing as a point guard.
Right. But in one instance, I understand what Joel Embiid is saying, but I also agree with Dre in the fact that, look, man, this the playoffs, bro. You already said you was gonna have the thumb surgery when the playoffs is over, so let's get that out the way and don't mention it ever again. You said you was gonna have the surgery. Don't mention it no more. You shouldn't even brought it up. He shouldn't have never even brought it up. Now it's a thing, and now I think it's low-key being used as an excuse. Like, he low-key just said, hey, man, I ain't going to be able to do it, dog. That's exactly what he said. In my opinion, when he sat at that podium, and the look on his face said, I ain't going to even be able to do it, dog. He already thinking about the surgery. It's the first round of the playoffs, bro. Come on.
And he needs to get some. He needs to get some of that slander too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Play better.
Play better.
You want to be considered one of the best big men of all time. Put this Philly team on your back and get these W's.
Absolutely. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. I agree.
Gelato had another point, though, about the thumb in Embiid, and he says, but don't you think that players are swiping at his thumb every time they get the ball?
Absolutely.
They coming down on that thing and
absolutely.
Come on.
Every time this is the playoffs, bro.
Especially when he's in the post.
Man, this
when
the
playoffs. When they're double teaming him, he will get hit on that hand.
He's gonna get hit
all the time.
You're gonna get hit.
Put a pad on.
I mean, I'm sure they have that thing, taped up and padded up as best as they can. But
bruh, put a B12 shot in that thing, man.
It's going to get hit. It's going to get hit.
It's going to get hit. What, you going to not suit up? What you going to do, Joel? Yeah. Joel, what you going to do?
He want to suck on it instead of getting it better.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? Am I gonna continue to hear excuse after excuse, or are you gonna suit up and hoop?
He put off surgery. It needs surgery, so he put off surgery till after the playoffs.
Yes.
So, he's trying to play through it.
Yeah. I just think that there's more blame to be had other than Embiid, and I think for years Harden has been a better player than Embiid, and now it doesn't even seem like they're close.
But this is the thing, though.
Well, let's stop putting unfair, unrealistic expectations on guys. Did we really think that James Harden was going to come in and really just kill the playoffs, or does history show us that James Harden doesn't really show up in the playoffs? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I can't get mad for a person showing me who they really are. And I can't get mad for you, for me putting an expectation on you and you not being able to live up to that expectation. Yeah. James Harden is not going to be that guy for you in the playoffs like that. When was the last time he was?
Yeah, never.
Right.
Never.
Maybe 1 year in Houston. That's it.
So we making excuses for James then?
Oh no excuse.
That's what it sounds like.
No, he's just not that dude.
That's what it sounds like.
But
so we're not asking him to ramp his game up. We're asking him.
No, we are. But
that's what Joel is asking.
But this the thing though.
But we're saying
we already know what James has done, so we can't be surprised if he don't do that.
But we can't look at the past. We got to look at right now.
But he has a track record,
we got to look at right now.
He got a track record, Billy. You can't ignore the track record, Billy.
But Harden says that he's one of the top dudes. So I'm just telling you to
self-proclaimed. This is Joel Embiid saying that he one of them dudes.
But Harden is saying it as well.
Be that dude then.
That's like me saying I want Anthony Davis to come in next year and go the whole season and just be completely healthy.
No.
Or I'm going to hold him to the same expectation he's been giving me since you've been having him over there, where he's going to have some games where he's just not healthy.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Got to live with it.
Got to. Man,
that's a tough live.
This is.
But you're paying
really,
them as
really
if they're
man.
playing. You're paying them as if. You don't expect 82 games because you're going to do some load management regardless.
That's part of it right now.
You're expecting 65, 70 games from your stars.
Right.
I don't know how you can calculate or you can't calculate injuries and time off.
Yeah.
The Lakers didn't this year.
Yeah.
So and the same track record you talk about, Goose, shouldn't that have been in the minds of them when they made that trade?
Yeah, but
bingo.
They made the trade. You're absolutely right. They made the trade though, so they must have thought something different than we did.
Actually, they knew that they were trading a diva for another diva, but at least this diva's going to go out and actually
play.
Try to give you something.
Right.
Now I would have took James Harden over Ben Simmons all day. I would have took that. I would have took it. I'd have took him over all day.
Sure.
But like we seen James Harden. We look at him as that guy who can get you 25, and 12.
Sure. I agree.
On a nightly basis.
Yeah. During the 82.
We're in the playoffs now.
And like
stakes
Dre
are
said,
high.
we expecting something different that we
stakes
that
are high.
know we not gonna get.
So is James Harden, Tony Romo?
I think we giving ourselves fool's gold. No, hear me out. I think we're giving ourselves that fool's gold because we're looking at James Harden as this MVP, this dude that has had a tremendous. He's one of the. A lot of people have him in the top 5 shooting guards of all time. A lot of people do. So we're looking at that and saying, maybe, just maybe, James Harden will give us something this time. It's false hope that we continue to give ourselves and feed ourselves each and every year he comes to the playoffs. And he gives us the same thing each and every year he comes in the playoffs, and that's nothing. But we keep feeding ourselves the fool's gold.
He is a top
Lucky Charms. We keep giving ourselves the Lucky Charms, Bill. Lucky Charms get soggy, bro. I don't like Lucky Charms, bro.
I hate soggy cereal.
I hate soggy cereal, bro.
Oh, God.
Lucky Charms are soggy.
I like soggy cereal.
That's nasty.
Dre let us sit there for 30 minutes.
Oh, man. That's funny.
To Ja Morant with the game winner.
Wow, look at that. Wow. Wow. That's a big win, bro. That's a big win. 3-2 is the series, man. Headed back to Minnesota.
Went to the rack, too.
Wow.
This is the best series in the playoffs for two teams that have no chance to win it.
No question.
But it's the most entertaining series.
It's the best series that we have going right now. No question about it. Wow.
I think it's going to go 7, too.
Yeah, it looks to be that way because I think Minnesota comes out hungry in Game 6 and they get that one and come back to Memphis. I really
Y'all don't think they'll give Golden State problems next series?
Who, Minnesota, if they win?
Well, not Minnesota, but Memphis.
Memphis? It'll be short-lived. There'll be short-lived problems. They may
not
for
the way
a little
Golden
bit.
State shooting that thing.
Not the way Golden State is making shots right now, bro. Desmond, like the way Golden State plays, somebody like Desmond Bane can be canceled out. The way they play, Desmond Bane can be, and we see how important he is to Memphis, right? Yeah. Somebody like Desmond Bane can be completely canceled out of a series like that. You think You think he's going to have fun chasing Klay Thompson around the horn, bro? You think he's going to do that for 48 minutes? Man, no. Desmond Bane can and probably will be canceled out. And that hurts Memphis. He's one of their more important players.
Yeah.
If he gets canceled out, who you got?
I don't think they have the shooting anyway to keep
Who you got?
with Golden State.
It's going to be tough.
We're going to see.
We're going to see. But I'm just looking at it at face value for now. But we're going to see. You're correct. We're going to see. But Desmond Bane, he can be canceled out.
We're going to see.
We're going to see. We're going to see.
So with that being said, we need to talk about the best player in the league and the best team in the league, which is the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis.
Yes, let's talk about them.
Well, they're absolutely annihilating that series. Yeah. That's not even
they're playing the worst team in the playoffs.
It's not even conversation worthy, bro. It's not even conversation worthy. They're dominating that series.
Zach LaVine has COVID,
and Zach got COVID now.
We got Chris Middleton now, which is going to hurt us next round against Boston. Yeah, because he's out 2 weeks, and that series is going to be started. We'll be 2 to 3 games in by the time Middleton comes back.
He comes back.
Yeah.
You're not winning the game without Middleton. Against the Celtics?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, G.
It's not the Bulls.
Who are completely healthy?
That's gonna be tough.
Well, Robert Williams is not healthy.
Sure, about to start sweating. Sure, about to start sweating.
His pH balance.
The pH balance is off.
His pH balance is going to be off in a second.
He's turning red, y'all. He's turning red. I can see it.
Sherm over there looking like the Indian in the car.
Sherm thought about that. He was like, that bottom lip got to twitch. His bottom lip start twitching, bro. Soon as you said it, I looked at him. He was like he just got a whooping.
Trying to hold it in.
I give you something to cry about. Sherm, hey man, it's gonna be a little tough. It's gonna be a little tough, man.
You know, here's what's funny too.
Yeah,
because I was hoping the Nets won that series. We just match up better against them.
Yeah, no doubt, no question.
We match up better.
It would have been easy, in my opinion. If the Nets beat Boston, y'all breeze through them, bro.
Yeah,
that's a sweep, in my opinion.
Yep.
You breeze through them.
Yep.
But this Boston team, dog.
Yeah,
it's different. It's a little different.
And the thing is, Giannis gonna get his.
Sure,
right?
No
Giannis
question.
gonna get his.
No question.
But as we were talking,
because Boston's gonna see to it.
Yeah,
Boston's gonna see to it that Giannis gets his.
So we need Jrue Holiday to pick up that slack. We need Jrue Holiday to average about 23, and we need Grayson Allen
to not kick nobody in the balls. That's what you need, Grayson Allen to do.
Laker fans, if I can accept Grayson Allen, y'all can accept LeBron, because Grayson Allen, he's a dookie.
Man. He's a dookie.
He's a lot of adjectives I'd rather not say.
Sure. Yeah. Whoa. Wow.
But we need him to step up. Grayson Allen has to average 16 to 20.
He had a big game the other night.
He did.
What did you drop? 27?
And that's what we need from him.
Yeah.
That's what we need from him. Because if they're going to send that double team, because Horford can't guard Giannis. And if we go with our big lineup and have Bobby Portis as the 4, then that puts somebody like Jason Tatum. And the difference between KD and Giannis, both big dudes, and yeah, KD can get to his spot, but he's not going straight to the paint with that size, that muscle.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So now you're on your heels versus trying to swipe down at the ball or trying to go up and block a shot.
Yeah, y'all can be physical with Giannis all day. He's gonna run right through that.
Yes. Yeah.
Where KD was getting knocked to the ground and knocked off his spot.
Right.
It's not gonna happen with Giannis.
No. But when that happens, if he needs to kick out and they bring over that double team, That's where Grayson Allen got to hit that shot. Bobby Porter's got to hit his shot. Brooke Lopez. But Drew Holiday has to be able to, and this is a tough task because he's going to have Marcus Smart on him.
Yeah.
I think, too, Boston just has so many bodies they can throw at you defensively. No one is ever going to be worn out defensively trying to stay in front of Giannis. Nobody's ever going to be worn out. So, with that said, again, Giannis is going to get his, but them other dudes, it's going to be tough treading, dog. It's going to be tough, G. It really, truly is, man.
I know.
Oy.
I wouldn't. If Chris Middleton was there, I'd be like, yeah, we got this. We're gonna win this in about 6, maybe 7. But you can't lose that type of player,
Sure,
and compete at this level.
No.
Yeah.
So
Because he was
what's his injury?
pull hamstring.
The hammy. Him and Booker.
Yeah, because I mean, he was absolutely money
Yeah.
in the finals.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
And the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
He was absolute money.
He was
Yeah.
torching last year against the
No
Nets
doubt.
Yeah.
and Suns.
No doubt.
Yes. So we're gonna miss that. He may be back by game 3 or 4, depending on the scheduling of it. And if we knock off the Bulls, we don't actually. That might help us because we don't play till Thursday.
Yeah.
So
Braves win 3-1. Had to get one off on them Cubs, man. We got to win that series, bro. It's tough on us right now, bro. Coming off that, losing that series.
So
to
with
New
all,
Orleans.
here's my thing. With all these injuries that's happened in the playoffs, do we still agree with Charles Barkley talking about the AD effect because he had the injuries? He needs to get another trainer. Are we gonna say that about these other players who?
He's talking about AD.
the thing about it, Charles was not right, but AD's always hurt. He's always hurt, and they're freak injuries. I mean, come down on an ankle or something like that, but his what it is with AD, his injuries last a lot longer than other people. He get a hamstring pull, he's out 6 weeks. Like Chris Middleton, 2 weeks. Devin Booker, 2 weeks. AD's 6 weeks.
Yeah.
AD twists an ankle, and he's out 10 weeks. LeBron twists the same ankle, he's out 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It just seems like AD's his injuries just last a lot longer than the typical player.
It takes time for him to heal.
Plenty. Too much time to heal. Like,
Love
But I mean,
takes
time
to heal.
but we're seeing a lot of soft tissue injuries right now.
But they're coming faster though. They're coming back faster.
yeah,
They're being forced back
sure.
That may be, but this is maybe.
because those injuries are going to be injuries for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
If AD had the same thumb injury that Embiid has, would AD be playing?
Probably not.
Probably not.
But Embiid is. I think that's the
In the
difference.
playoffs, I don't know. He might suck it up. AD might suck it up.
The fact that we got to say might,
yeah.
I think that's what Charles Barkley was coming
that's
from.
deflating.
That's what Charles Barkley was coming from.
The spirit of his comment. And I don't like.
I think it was more leaning to AD is soft.
Okay, but underlying from that, like we said, Embiid is playing.
But
through
he
a
hasn't
thumb.
said anything about these other dudes getting injured in the playoffs.
Yeah, but they're okay. So if an injury happens, you pull a hamstring, there's going to be time off, right? But you pull that hamstring in the first round, or you pull the hamstring, the diagnosis is 2 weeks. But here it is, 4 or 5 weeks later, you still nursing it. That's where it's like, okay, you can't play through the pain.
Yeah.
That's where Charles Barkley's coming from. Now, you can't put a lot of credit into what Charles said. We know that. But with AD, like I said, it just seemed like he nurses his injuries a lot longer. And maybe he doesn't have the pain threshold.
Tell the truth, Chuck. That's all we want you to do, man. Stop omitting information, bro.
I just believe that when you're injured, and see, like I said, these injuries are going to last the rest of the playoffs. How far these dudes play is going to be there. So the injury might get a little bit better, but then
long-term effect.
Yeah, the long-term effect is how have they been conditioning themselves? How have they strengthened that injury? And you don't have enough time to do that.
Which is true. When you got road games here and there.
AD hurts his in the season, so they give him all that extra time.
Yeah.
Training staff's going to give you time to get close to 100% as you can. We know it's in the season, so you're not going to get 100%. But, at the end of the day, you can get it to, 80%, 85% and come back and play.
Yeah.
This the playoffs. You got a small window, and you playing games. You got, hopefully it won't hurt, and hopefully they don't get hurt again with the same injury. But if they're trying to come back too fast, and these training staffs trying to bring them back too fast,
KD did that when he was in Golden State that last season.
Yeah,
that last year.
Well, KD was out a long time, and then.
That was that Achilles.
That night, it was a calf.
It was a calf.
Yeah, he was out for a long time with that calf injury because they were afraid that it might be something more,
and it was.
And so that's why they held him out so long, and they worked him out before the game.
Yeah.
And he gave the call. I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, we put you out there.
Yeah.
And he was cooking in the first half.
Sure he was.
Until he tried to make that move.
To put the ball on the deck.
And you saw it. When they slowed it down, you saw that muscle spasm ripple down.
God.
Yeah.
I
felt bad for the breath.
It's like bad. These training staffs, they caution on bringing these dudes back too fast because they know that's money.
Yeah.
And right now it's a crucial time because it's playoffs too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Dre, man, you still with us, bro? What you got for us in closing, brother?
That's it, man. This week's What Were You Thinking goes to Ben Simmons.
Man, that's the
My back hurts.
The new street clothes. He's the new street clothes.
Tragic.
He's the new street clothes.
It's tragic.
And to think I said that the Nets won that trade because of Ben Simmons. Because of what I thought he would do. And he did absolutely nothing.
They should take your co-host Mike for a whole year for that.
I get that. Look, I eat the ish sandwich on that one, brother. That's tough.
And
that's
you have a lot of people saying KD needs to go to management and tell them to get rid of Kyrie. No, you need to go to management and tell them to get rid of that dude.
Yeah, if you're gonna get rid of anybody, dang, that's tough.
Yeah,
gosh, that's tough. Dude, such a versatile defender. He can handle jeez.
They need to see if they can avoid that contract.
Because he just came out today and says not so much the back, but it's the mental. He's back to the mental.
Yeah, he's back to the mental.
He's back to the mental.
They need to see if they can avoid that contract.
Yeah, he's back to the mental thing now. Wow.
I'm going to tell you, in the next CBA negotiations, they're going to put something in there for the same stuff that Ben is going through.
Stealing money.
Yeah.
Man.
Tired of y'all stealing money.
Absolutely. Look, man, I got to give some love to Mr. Walker Buehler for that gem that he pitched the other day, bro. 3-hit gem as the Dodgers win 4-0 with 10 Ks, bro. It was unbelievable, bro. Walker Buehler, bro. I gotta show love, man. I have to. No matter what team you root for, you have to show love when it comes to the greatness that's displayed. And Walker Buehler displayed greatness the other day, bro. Yeah.
Dodgers will win the World Series guaranteed.
Probably. You getting your Charles Barkley on now, huh? All right.
And before we close up, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan. Don't mess this up.
I don't even care anymore.
Don't mess this up.
I don't even care anymore.
Don't mess this up.
I don't care anymore. Don't even care anymore.
Sad.
I don't even care anymore, bro.
He don't even have a care in the world no more.
I have no cares in the world because I'm looking at, and I've already called it, and hopefully I'm right. The Jets' 10th pick, and that second round
coming to y'all.
That's hand it over.
Here you go.
See, unlike you, I care. I'm a whole Care Bear with this whole thing. Like, dude.
You're a Care Bear?
Don't mess this up. I care too much.
I'm not going to force anyone to stay somewhere they don't want to be. I'm not going to force anyone to stay somewhere they don't want to be.
Exactly.
So you know what, Debo? Have fun in New York, because that's where you'll be. Have fun with the Jets. Go ahead. Go right ahead. See if they give you $30 million.
They will.
They probably will.
Let's see how you like it.
Enjoy. I'm not getting ready to as much of a Debo fan as I am. I'm not getting ready to cry over this spilled milk because the milk's been spilled. It's been spilled a long time ago.
Yeah.
Just give us that one in that too.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Man.
Y'all having
all
me
love,
on the show
Dre
today,
Bailey, man. All love, man. We know you gotta be a daddy,
Care
man.
Bear.
And if you're scared, you better go to church, man. Yes, sir.